Welcome to the session today. This is Anamika Gupta. So Lalita, we're running the poll first.
Yes, we will be running the poll right now.
Okay.
But you can go ahead and speak. It's a poll that will keep running through the session.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the session today. I'm so excited you were able to join the session today. It's a nice time. It's an evening, 3 p.m. here in Central, and wherever you are, if you're in Eastern, it's like 4 p.m. Central, you're getting ready for your coffee or tea. So very, very excited to have you join us. We will be talking today to our ATW group, DFW ATW group, and I'm so excited to bring them on board and come and talk to us. You'll hear a lot about like who they are, what they do, but I can tell you this is going to be in one exciting session where you will come to know what it means to be part of the outside network. You're a woman or a man supporting the cause of women getting in front, and especially into the technology area. You would definitely love to hear from what Marilyn and Erish today has to talk. Lilita, would you mind just getting onto the first slide, please? I want to make a quick introduction to the speakers here. We have, go back to the first one, please. Thank you. So we have exciting speakers joining us today. We have Marilyn, who is the DFW ATW president. She's also business development partner with Verizon. She comes with enormous amount of experience, and I can tell you we have a relationship with DFW ATW for the past 5 years, and she has been instrumental in all the 5 years, partnering with us with Fujitsu. In fact, she was, I think, instrumental in building the WIN organization with us. So I thanks Marilyn for that continued past long relationship with us. And we also have Aries Webb Williams joining us today. She is with Software One, but she's the program committee chair director for DFW ATW. So with that, I would pass it on to Michelle to just talk a little bit about WIN.
Thank you, Anamika. I'm sorry I can't be there with you, but we lost our power this afternoon. It just flicks back on for a second, but it's off. So keep your fingers crossed for us over here before it gets too hot. So thank you, everybody, for joining us to learn more about the WIN partnership with ATW. As part of WIN's mission, we sponsor ATW. And that sponsorship, because of that, we have several ATW memberships that are available at no cost to you. We hope that this sponsorship will provide you with an opportunity to develop your professional skills, build your network, and contribute to the community. We're looking for active participants, folks that can really commit to making the most of this partnership with ATW. And we hope this session inspires you to get involved. Thanks, Anamika. Back to you.
Thank you. At this time, we would like Marilyn, if you want to load up your slides and talk to us more about our partnership with ATW and speak a little bit more about what everyone can benefit out of it, that'll be great.
My slides are loaded. Can you see my slides?
Yes.
All right, very good. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Anamika, for such a nice, warm introduction as well. ATW is just delighted to be here to talk about our partnership with Fujitsu. And delighted to have Aries Webb Williams here, my colleague and a fellow board member, to talk about our partnership. As Anamika said earlier, our partnership has a very strong legacy. We started talking with Fujitsu. Some of you may know Yang Bing Lee. She initiated discussions with ATW on how to start a women's organization within a big company. And so we were just delighted to help out and provide ideas for speakers and various kinds of programs that really women that want to support women and get engaged in the community, you know, that we could bring that information and that knowledge base to Fujitsu. So we're just so delighted to have this really strong legacy with Fujitsu. Then if you look at the left, this is kind of a busy slide, but if you look at the left side of the screen, the very first event we did was in November of 2017, where we partnered with Fujitsu for one of our Great Minds programs, which is our community outreach programs for young girls. And it was hosted at the Fujitsu campus in Richardson, and ATW provided all the registration and logistics and the food and that kind of thing. And 25 girls came to tour the campus to also design, build, and support, learn various kinds of technologies that Fujitsu offers today. So they got a really good chance to interact with technology professionals, executive professionals, and really start to hopefully get them excited to learn about STEM and be encouraged to keep STEM in the forefront as they move on to college and ultimately a career. We then have been also very active with Fujitsu. Fujitsu has great speakers, great knowledge base to draw from around technology and leadership. And as part of our executive leadership forum, we host executive breakfasts and executive experiences. And Jeff Meyer was so gracious in 2018 to just provide an hour or so of his time to talk to some people, and it was a breakfast that he spoke at, and he talked to some folks that, as a VIP, kind of a very special experience, organizing IT for global digital transformation. So we've engaged with the leadership in 2019. Viren Agarwal was also part of our panel for our Executive Leadership Forum, and he certainly was a delight. He brought extra personality to the panel, and it was one of the best executive leadership forums that we've had. And then just even most recently, a couple weeks ago, we were so delighted to be able to co-host with Fujitsu, Mao Song, the Mars Global CIO leader, as she talked about adopting the art of deprioritization, which I found that very interesting because she talked both from a corporate perspective and how Mars has reacted and responded to the pandemic, as well as the impact that it had on her. So I hope that a lot of you had a chance to hear her. Next slide, please. That'd be me. So we remain anchored in our mission, and I think because of our relationship with Fujitsu, we share a lot of common vision, mission, and values, and especially during these unprecedented times, which this time has affected all of us, both in deeply personal ways and profound ways. And we remain as an organization of women's and men supporting women in technology and changing the face of technology through women. We're a vital nonprofit organization. All of our work is done by volunteers, so we would love for you guys to consider volunteering, which we'll get to that part in a couple minutes. And we work to increase the number of women in leadership, and through our community outreach programs, increase the pipeline for girls entering technology fields as a career. And we've also really during this time have focused on our values of diversity and being inclusive, influential, interconnected, innovative. All of those values are really important to us, have always been important, but during this time have really surfaced and really have kept our organization mindful and very thoughtful with our purpose and our mission and what it is and what we do in our community. So the things that we do we serve all generations, and we're playing on 5G. So given that Fujitsu is a very high-tech company, we can't say that we're 5G as in telecom kind of 5G, but we love the terminology of 5G because there's 5 generations in the workforce. And we have, as part of our strategy that we're executing, we are now rolling out programs and initiatives that has something for everyone, for all 5 generations. So when you look at ATW inside that circle of going 5G, the things that you see around that circle are our programs, initiatives that support our leadership development, diversity and inclusion initiatives, our education and workshops. We do a lot around network and connection as well, just bringing people together to talk, to share experiences. As I mentioned, we have our community outreach and Great Minds programs. Our executive leadership forum is something to watch for. It's our biggest event of the year. And pre-COVID times, we would draw 300 to 350 people. It's a big venue, kind of think of an in-person event. This year, we're very excited to announce it'll be an online event, and we expect a lot more people. And we also expect a lot more people from outside of our community. So very exciting activity going on there. We continue to develop and invest in leadership, and this year ATW announced our own program, our very first program, partnering with Marcia Clark and Associates to provide leadership. It's a leadership program. It's a 12-month program, but there's 6 key workshops, which is a one day on a Saturday. There's 6 of those workshops that cover various topics on leadership. They cover topics on brain styles, for example, women and negotiation, the art of self-promotion, effectively leading a team. So it's a great workshop it's a great program to learn all these key leadership skills to bring back to your company, as well as to just take out into the world with more skills and knowledge. So the other things that we've been doing is in March, that was our last month that we did an in-person event. The world was changing rapidly as we knew it. And I'm just so excited and so proud of our board that just took this initiative, and we just pivoted, flexed, and went all online. So not only did we put our monthly programs online, but we also developed these new programs for this one here, for Women Who Leap is for members only. It's our first affinity group, which means it's a smaller group. It's women that are interested in various kinds of topics. This group is focused on increasing your skills, maybe while you're in transition, or just increasing your skills of learning about LinkedIn and intentional networking. So interpersonal kind of skills. And we have done 3 of these programs over the last couple months, and every program now that we're doing, we are looking at it through the lens of being online. Certainly now, because it's a requirement, but as we move forward into whatever the new norm looks like, our online programming and our online content will be a significant part of ATW. So a little bit on Great Minds. This program was part of ATW since the beginning. We're about 20 years old. We were founded by some folks. Some of our founders are from TI. And one of the ladies as our founder, as part of her Harvard schooling, she wrote about the need to have to fill the pipeline, because even 20 years ago, in fact, it was probably worse 20 years ago, the need for women to get into the pipeline for STEM was significant, and it is still significant today. And so she designed this program called Great Minds, which ATW has just expanded and grown this program over the years. So what Great Minds does is it targets girls. We start targeting girls now in the 3rd or 4th grade, and we put on these, typically there are half a day, Saturday kind of programs on various topics at various places. I referenced the one we did at Fujitsu, which was just wonderful because the girls get a chance to meet professionals in a STEM career, as well as they get to see, you know, what real life professional life is like by coming onto the campus. So we provide the financial and leadership resources to our partners such as Dallas ISD. There's a Girls in STEM Summer Expo, which is out of Plano High School. These girls are high school girls, very, very committed to STEM as they enter college. We also support iCode hackathons and STEAM Achievers, which brings in the artistic side of STEM. We also have scholarships for our education partners. There's a nonprofit group called Design, Connect, Create. This group we provided scholarships to send 5 girls to a 2-week physics camp that helps these 9th and 11th grade girls gain confidence to take the AP physics tests. And they've had wonderful success. This organization is now expanding into other states. High Tech, High Heels, we share the mission of increasing the number of girls into a college level degree program. And we also last summer sent 5 girls to the SMU Lyle School of Engineering for a 1-week engineering camp. We can't do it without our volunteers. So these are just some examples to show you of our marketing and some of the things that maybe you have seen in our social media as these events come up. But we can't thank our volunteers enough for helping us through these events. This is a web development camp that we did at UTD last summer as part of our Great Minds programs. And now I'd like to turn it over to Aries to talk about the rest of the great programs that we do. Aries?
And what a perfect slide. Look at who's on this on this slide. We were able to, so what I was going to talk about here is we have a committee that does a lot with local organizations and awards that are a lot around the DFW area, mostly like Tech Titans. But look at here, we had Dallas Business Journal is one of those organizations that we work with for different nominations. And we have been successful at nominating and recognizing a lot of women in the area. And Anamika was one of them last year for our Dallas Women in Business. So thank you, Anamika. I'm so glad that you were able to. When I saw your name, I was like, look at here. We got somebody that we are very close with, so it's very well deserved. What was the next slide, Marilyn? Can you click the next one? All right, so just like I was speaking on, so these are some of the women that we nominated this year that actually received awards and were honored at the 2020 Dallas Business Journal Women in Technology Awards. So every year it seems that we have gotten better and better at being able to represent a lot of our women that are either members or also just friends of DFW ATW. And this is something that a lot of people have been, it's really hard to get into because of the criteria and all those things, but our team of our nominations committee, they've kind of mastered that now. So we could tell by the amount of women that we were able to nominate this year that actually won awards that we've getting better and better here. So this is something a lot of people aspire to. You can go ahead and go to the next one. Okay, so for me, and just to give you a little bit of background about how I joined ATW, I've been a member of ATW since I think 2016. And I was invited by one of a previous board member to just attend the executive leadership forum that we were having that particular year. And that piqued my interest of the organization. It was various groups, you know, there represented. And I just continued to attend the monthly meetings. And I started volunteering on committees as a way to just build my personal network. At the time, I had not really built a professional network. You know, we all have people that we could say we're social, we know people, but it doesn't matter if you don't have kind of that network internally and externally that helps build your skill set and exposure to various things. So I wanted to grow as a leader, and I wanted to meet other women who were pursuing the same type of goals as I was. So here are some of the committees that we have. We have a membership committee. I lead the programs committee, and that's the committee that we seek out these speakers. So every time you see a program where there are speakers involved, somebody in the programs is probably a part of that, where we build relationships with a lot of senior executives and a lot of their team to provide these quality programs for you all. So it's going to be something with career development, leadership, technology, various topics. They're not all techy, so you don't have to think that if you're not in a specifically technology driven role, if you're tech adjacent project manager, it really doesn't matter. They're all kind of cover a vast amount of topics. We also have our partnership committee, marketing, leadership, and professional development. So those programs that Marilyn just spoke about, as well as Great Minds. So it's so many areas that you can volunteer. And I'm a big advocate on volunteering, because volunteering will get you that exposure to maybe other areas that, let's say you want to build skills and move into marketing, but that's not where you are right now. Great way to do that is to join a marketing committee and learn how to use all that within, this organization, learn those skill sets in a safe environment, and then you'll be able to add that to your resume if you want to make a pivot within your organization. Same thing with all the rest of these. So next slide. Okay, so this kind of wraps it all back up into what Marilyn was speaking on earlier. For me, I'm a networker. So networking to me is probably the easiest thing to do within ATW. Everyone is so welcoming. From day one, I knew no one when I came to ATW, but it feels like you know everyone once you get there. And when we were in person, obviously it was a lot easier. We're trying to create programs now that will allow that engaging. For instance, when we pivoted in April with the COVID situation, we started going online. We would do a meeting just like this right now, which is a little less engaging, obviously, because we don't get to see each other's faces and communicate. But what we've done is we've changed our monthly meeting to more of a engaging platform. So we're using Zoom right now, but we always are researching other methods that we can use in order to allow that opportunity. But at the end of every meeting we have, at our monthly meeting, we have an hour for networking, intentional networking within the group. So whoever wants to stay over, we'll either do breakout rooms, or we'll just stay in that room and chit chat, get to know each other. So many things come from that, and connect with each other on LinkedIn and things like that, so that women know that there's women and men that are involved know there's a safe environment for us to just kind of build and help each other within that. But also the community outreach. We partner with a lot of organizations, as Marilyn said, and we've done so many things with Fujitsu, but allowing that touch points, so where we have our pulse on the community. A lot of corporate organizations that may not have that quite established yet, like you guys do with WIN, but they need ways that they can engage, outside into the community, and ATW is also a way to do that. Also being mentors and role models, and maybe even coaches to other women who are trying to build their leadership skills. We'll engage with partners and have people step in as a coach, maybe or a mentor. What else we got down there? Yes, and then obviously the recognition committee. That is one that a lot of people connect with us. Initially, they'll see us because they see us at all these different awards ceremonies where ATW is getting acknowledged for nominating a plethora of women. So many ways that you can engage. So if you've been thinking about how you're going to give back, and how you're going to connect, and how are you going to add your diversity into this, we're very intentional about that. And this is definitely a way in order to do that. I think all of us have our own separate stories of what ATW has done for us, individually. And it's like no matter what changes you may go through, you always have kind of this safe space where you can talk, you can learn, you can meet new people, and just build your skill set. So I don't know if there's another slide after this, is there?
No, that's it.
Okay, cool. So yeah, we got through this pretty fast.
In fact, I would say, Aries, just on your point there, when you talked about connecting and networking, I'll tell you my personal story. When I started my career, I was such an introvert. I was literally an introvert. But my career, or where I wanted to go, it demanded me to be an extrovert. But I had so many different coaches and mentors in my career along my journey, and they coached me how to be an extrovert while you can be introvert at heart. That's not a problem, but you really need to be extrovert externally to connect with people and network with the right people. So I can truly tell you this connect, inspire, empower, advocate in a safe place like this, in a platform like this, is such an important to every men and women. I would say both. It's such an important part of their career as they kind of go along. So
How many times have you been to a networking event where you're standing there looking like a deer in headlights because you don't know anybody and people aren't looking friendly? You know, I've had that, and you're like, I don't know how to even start a conversation here. You'll never have that in an ATW environment. We're looking for people who look like that so that we can go grab them. So it's definitely, and actually a shameless plug for next month's meeting. It will be based on, the subject will be about intentional uh, virtual connections. So how we can make those same connections in this new normal of our virtual environment. So we're going to kind of dig in with some people who are movers and shakers and have a conversation about ways in which we can start doing that more, even when we're in this kind of virtual setting. So lots more coming.
Yes, I think I have seen that. I have attended a couple of conferences with DFW ATW, and I can assure you this is one where you definitely would like to get out there and meet all those movers and shakers. And more than that, some peers and colleagues from your own industry, and network with them to grow your network as you kind of building up your career wherever you are, right? So the other thing I would say, I know this is our first time DFW ATW coming in and speaking to us, like, in a wider forum to everybody. And this was intentional because we really wanted each one of you to know that Fujitsu has taken this a step via WIN to build a relationship with organizations like DFW ATW, and you should know more about it. You should know the benefits out of it. And this is not just about that, the benefits you could gather from this relationship of Fujitsu with DFW ATW, but go outside of the box and think what other platforms could help you in helping you grow in your career, right? So take an effort to find that out. If you really need support, reach out to WIN members, reach out to DFW ATW folks here like Marilyn, Aries. You can reach out to me anytime and find that out. That is very, very important. And I'm talking from my experience here. I love some of the sessions. In fact, I'll tell you some of the sessions just recently which happened with DFW ATW, like Paula Calise and Jennifer Carter talking. I mean, immense amount of information that you won't find in a public forum, which if you actually get on and join this group, you'll not just hear these experts, but also the conversation which is happening onto that platform via these informative sessions. So that's absolutely important. And not just for you, for your girl child. If you're raising a girl child, it is so important for them to kind of, be exposed. I was not exposed early in my career. If I would have been, it would have been so beneficial to me. But you can give this to your child if you're raising a girl child. I have 2 young girl child, and I literally do talk to them about this, right? So they know that these things exist. In fact, one of the example I'll give you, I went to DFW ATW webpage. I don't know, Marilyn, Aries, if you know, but I went there and I was looking at it. I was like, what can I do for maybe summer vacation for my kids? And you have tons of information there around the STEM. And I picked some of those, and I have shown it to my elder 8-year-old, and she was interested in one of the NASA session. So
That's new. That's new. We just added that. Our Great Minds director, she's responsible for that.
So we did
Yeah.
that, and so basically there is a DFW ATW page. I can show it here if you want, but Google it. It's right on the top. It'll pop up. Go there. Go to the event section, and you have a beautifully laid out calendar which shows that when it's happening what. So you can pick up based on your timing, what you want to attend. What COVID has done, this is a positive sign, I'll say, and probably Marilyn and Aries are going to kick me off out of this, is like, because of the COVID situation, I think they have started offering a lot of virtual sessions, which you could join at any moment. Don't have to be physically present in a meeting, and some of them are free to everybody. So you could definitely come and join the group and listen to it, and then contribute and just find out if this is something what you want to pursue. Via this session, I'll tell you that we are giving an opportunity for you to know the organization before you select like what platform you want to join. So I think Lalita is gonna just put up a poll very quickly and find out if you're interested, what kind of organizations you're interested in. If you're interested in joining DFW ATW, we have via our partnership 5 members who would be on the member team via this relationship. But if we see more interest, maybe we can work out something with DFW ATW to extend it to the more women. But we also have non-member. You don't have to be a member to actually access all of these things. You can be a non-member and you can still access some of those things, right? Depending on what session you want to join. So with that, I think, Lalita, there you go. We have a poll here, so we'll let you answer to it and have you ask any questions you have.
Thank you, Anamika, and thank you, Marilyn and Aries. It was a great presentation, and I can't say enough that this platform, like you mentioned, Aries, is not just people just not knowing what to do, but it is a very engaging sessions that you guys have, very interactive. I know you guys, you have seen you guys in action, actually arranging and organizing these sessions, and this is it's coming absolutely free for employees, is amazing, and I would definitely it's definitely worthwhile looking into it, and I definitely encourage everyone to look into this, because I personally have found it very interesting and engaging. And being an introvert myself, I feel that this platform gives you an opportunity to interact with a lot of different mindset of people, and and it's super friendly, and the sessions that you guys have are pretty amazing. So yeah, my personal experience goes along with whatever you guys have been saying, so thank you so much for that. I did get a few questions, and Tom, would you mind sharing the survey that we have? I want to get feedback on a couple of things. One being around what are you currently interested in within the community, and also whether you are interested in learning more about ATW, then we will get in touch with you and provide you with more feedback. I did receive a few questions, so I'll just jump right in and ask those questions. Marilyn, one for you, and I think Anamika already covered a few of this. Given that it's a COVID scenario, and we know that this has been a physical event, and was more aligned with the DFW chapter, or it was local. Now that it's I think it's a benefit opening up virtually, because I think a lot of other folks can also join across all other cities and states. So given that, could you give us a little bit of more details around how is this run? Is it a monthly session that you guys have? How do they sign up for those sessions, and things like that? So and if there's a calendar that you could share with us later on, we could share it with our extended team here.
Yeah,
Marilyn,
yes.
I was gonna say, did you want me to jump in? Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll, but Aries, chime in here. So just to kind of set the framework, we are so jazzed about the online sessions, because I think this will help us extend our sense of community outside the local area into other states, into hopefully even globally. We had a great session with Mao Song. That was a global listening session, and ATW was so jazzed to be part of that. And that would, that was our first one where we had exposure to that. So as we move into, especially our executive leadership forum, which is our big, it's our big event of the year, and it draws a lot of people. We are looking to market it through our social media channels, as well as really try to extend it out through our partnerships, such as with Fujitsu, to bring in your international members and your and employees from Fujitsu. And we have a number of partnerships of large global companies. So it's only going to get better, and the strategy is to expand and really have exposure to a larger number of speakers, deeper experience on a global basis. And Aries, chime in with some details there.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, yes, we do have a events section of the website, so you can always go there, and it's pretty, it stays updated. But we also have a YouTube page that we've implemented. So some of the meetings that we have recorded, we put that out on YouTube. So if you ever want to go back and look at some of the old programs that we've had, you can do that on our YouTube channel as well. But yes, like Marilyn said, it gives us the opportunity to open it up. There, we have been thinking about going virtual at one point, but then we just didn't, because we had the in-person thing that was working. COVID, I think, made a lot of us do a lot of things that we probably had in our minds that we wanted to do, but hadn't pushed the button on. So we did, and it's actually been very helpful for a lot of people who had not had access or had time, to come in at a certain day at a certain time. So I think that what we'll do in the future will mostly be something similar. We'll probably have a hybrid set type of programming as we move forward, once we get back kind of to getting face to face. But I think keeping a virtual piece of our programs is something that we can keep for a while.
Could I
Great.
maybe request, I don't know if it's Marilyn's screen is getting shared. I think if you may just pop up the DFW ATW page, because that way the audience can see where they can go and just see it. Or maybe just pass on the rights to me and I can share it. It's open. It's always open on in my Outlook, so in my Safari. So
You want to see the website?
if you go to the, I think it'll be good for people to see where they can go. So just go to DFW, and I think you can just show the event section.
Absolutely. Oh, look at all those great pictures. All right, here's meetings and events, and you just cursor down, right?
Oh,
See
I
our
missed
description.
those days.
I know, this is what, and we sold out in January, February, and March. All 3 meetings were sold out, and sold out means the room graciously holds 80, and we were hitting 100, and so the fire marshal gets a little concerned. But we were selling out. It was just awesome speakers, and so we think that we're just primed for online to bring and be accessible by other people who could not attend, or generally may not be able to attend in the evening. But all you do is scroll down. Here's the calendar. Here's July. Our Women Who Leap. This is our, for members only, our affinity group that I referenced earlier. You can see that they have three programs on Thursday. I think that's on Thursday evening. Here's our new member orientation. We're running one of these once a quarter now. So any new members, which we hope we see you guys here as well, new members, come in and learn more about ATW, learn more about the committees, learn how to get engaged, and really find what committee is in the best alignment for what you want to do and the goals that you want to accomplish. And then here's our Connect Friday. Forgot to mention this. The team put together not only our online programs, but in April, when we were all kind of getting used to being at home, working from home, and really having to pivot quickly, the board put together this online event called Connect Fridays. And the theme of it is it's more casual. It's come join ATW around noon. Bring your lunch, have a cup of coffee, relax. It's not as structured, and come listen to a great speaker or fireside chat. And a lot of the topics were dealing with COVID, and how are you doing, and the empathetic side of things. I mean, a lot of times women, we are working, then we switch over to family and get the dinner ready, and it's just it was meant to, and we put these on just for some time to say, hey, things are going to be all right, and where you can connect to other women as well that may be sharing similar situations. So Connect Fridays, it's great. We're now
30
running
minutes.
30
It's just
minutes.
yeah.
Once a month now. Maybe it kind of depends on speakers. Maybe we'll go to twice a month, but April we really felt, I think we did 5, went into May, because of just the rapid change that we were all going through.
And you
And
bring in
that's the
guest.
one which is free to everybody, right?
Yeah, that one is it's a quick, just a lunchtime meeting. It's not really, meant to take a bunch of your time. Like Marilyn said, it is free. It's just something that we implemented like right away, because one of our big Innotech conference was canceled, that we usually would have people, in person, but it was canceled. So we went in and just started doing something every Friday. We just kind of threw something on the calendar, and now we're doing it once a month in conjunction with our monthly meeting. So.
And you bring in guest speakers as well for these
Yes.
sessions? Okay.
Yes.
Awesome.
And
So one more question. Sorry, go ahead, Marilyn.
I was going to emphasize that all of our programs online, we've been offering them free of charge. And this is, the board we've talked about this, and this is going forward, at least for this year, will be outside of our executive leadership forum. The programs are free of charge, and we look to our fundraising and the other financial resources through our partners and through other organizations, because we believe that, and it ties into our mission, that it's an unprecedented time, and people are dealing with multiple things that maybe be the first time in your life they may be dealing with certain things. And so it's really to encourage because the content is so rich, because the networking is so rich. It's really just trying to reduce all the barriers outside of, possibly putting dinner on the table, and reducing those barriers to come and enjoy one of the programs. So just a side note that these programs are free of charge.
2020 was our 1-year trial. You get a 1-year trial of ATW.
That's amazing what you guys have been putting through. And I would encourage everyone to actually join in and, attend these. If it's a free session, it's a nice way to check for yourself to see if it's something that interests you, and we can help you out if you're interested to, get you guys access to attending these.
Yeah, but what I'm going to add to it is that when you're joining this session, bring your commitment, because when you bring your commitment and when you listen to these sessions, then you feel the value which you could actually get out of this, get out of that 30 minutes or get out of that 1 hour, right? And as Marilyn was mentioning, we as women are managing so many things in our day-to-day life. It's not just the work. You have things around you to be managed. So getting on these virtual sessions and listening will give you the power to think that, how can I do things differently? I don't have to be kind of, and I have 8 hours. Every woman has got the 8 hours. How are they kind of managing and being, one of them, like Meo Song is the CIO of the big Mars group, but how can I raise to that position? It couldn't be the same one. Everybody has got their own wishes, but you could kind of benefit from these talk and say, how can I manage things? And the other thing, the other side of it is that you will also feel it's not just you and I into this particular boat, but there are several other women who are on the same boat and feeling the same way. So it really helps a lot. It helped me. So I can assure you it's going to help you guys.
And kind of to your point, Anamika, one of the things that we did early on, because it was, look, I have 2 young children that I had to become a homeschool mom to, and that was crazy. So I was like, teachers, please come back. So we are very flexible. We pivot in all kinds of ways. We're not like, oh, we're just going to do this stuff this one way. We are very open to input and changing and being innovative, and that's a part of it, right? We're the women in tech, but we are also mostly, it's about being relevant and being on time. So we've
Mm-hmm.
done things where we had networking sessions after meetings for parents, for mothers, for parents trying to figure out how to homeschool, tips, things like that, like all kinds of different things that we were like, oh, we got a lot of people talking about this. Let's do something, about this. Let's have a conversation about this. So we're not just stuck in one way. So even if you see something this year, next year may look totally different than what we're doing this year, but we're always trying to stay relevant with what's really going on with all of our lives, right? Not just stuck to
Yeah,
old
and
stuff.
Agree.
that brings to the next question that I got regarding volunteering opportunities, and I think it's important as a person stuck in the computer all day long, staying at home, working from home. We do have our own personal goals and professional goals to meet, and there are some volunteering opportunities that we miss out or we are not aware of. So could you guys tell us what are the volunteering opportunities within ATW that we can avail, and how do we go about in doing it?
Lots and lots. We have so many because we are a working board. Okay. So when you see us saying we're board members, it's not for the glamour. It's, we're putting sweat and tears into this stuff. So we definitely can't do it without our volunteers. Everything is volunteer. We really don't have a staff. Like none of us are, all of us are volunteers. So we need all the help we can get. So if we have people, like for instance, if we're talking about programs, if you have a extensive network, we need people like that can help us connect with different organizations or different leaders or groups so that we can bring these great speakers. These speakers come from within our network. Everyone that you've seen either through our partners or through our personal networks. So we need people like that. We need people to help with our marketing, our marketing committee. All those graphics are from people who have volunteered on marketing committee. We don't outsource any of that stuff. Great minds, same thing. So there's, the leadership and professional development. If you have like a coaching side hustle or whatever, come over here. We need people that can help us grow that so that we can be a resource. So a lot of the things that we do, we connect with other partners in order to help. Any skill set that we don't have, we'll just connect with other partners that have that skill set. You saw when we had the high tech and heels and the STEAM achievers and I code and all that. We're not teaching kids how to code. We're working with partners and people who have those skill sets. So if you do have that, those are things that we need. Membership committee. We have, I mean, if anything that you could think of, we have something for you to do. Any skill sets that you have. So there's lots of ways. And actually, I think we just updated our website to include a form that you could fill out to share your interest in different committees, and it gives a little bit about each committee on those forms. So that's something new. I
Awesome.
think we just added in the last 2 weeks or so.
Great.
Yeah.
And what we can do is we'll put together a follow-up email to all our attendees and share all those links so you guys have all those resources. And I think unfortunately we were not able to share that survey, so because it has to be as a follow-up. So I will send that survey link as well to get your feedback whether you are interested and what's the committee that you're interested, so we could send you information pertaining to that committee.
Yeah. I also wanted to talk a little bit on the great minds side of it. And maybe I know, Marilyn, you talked a little bit as part of your presentation. And I remember Arnika from our group was lead on to, like, for us to be hosting one this year at Fujitsu campus, which could go forward because of COVID and everything else. But do you mind speaking a little bit on the great minds, just highlighting few programs, if there's something coming up or online which our women and men leaders can benefit out of?
Yeah, sure. Thanks for that. And yes, COVID hit our plans. We were going to put on a Great Minds program with Fujitsu, again leveraging all the talent and facilities and campus. So that is high on the list as soon as we go back to the in person. So what we have coming up, ATW just designed a program called I Lead for STEM. And we're actually pursuing some grants. Hopefully we'll be successful in this pursuit. But this is an 8-month program for 30 underserved girls, minority girls out of the Richardson School District. And it's a combination of workshops around STEM, but we've integrated a leadership development. So these are for 8th grade girls, and from the research and and input from certainly Richardson Schools and other folks that focus on trying to entice girls and keep girls interested in STEM. This is a critical age in 8th grade, and so we've targeted 8th grade. And the thing is that we also have, and this was just within the last 3 or 4 weeks, we've had to create an online version. The program would start in December. This is the current state. It may change a little bit, but the thought is we'd at least kick it off in December. So it would go through the full school, the first semester of school into the summer. That takes us into June, I think, for the 8-month program, June, July, with starting in December. And it's a combination of workshops and then these online sessions, and also integrated with this youth development and leadership. And we have outsourced this piece to the experts. It's a John Maxwell group. They have specifically designed programs for young girls to teach them to, well, first of all, to provide mentors and coaches to these girls, but to teach them, some key leadership skills. So not only will these girls be learning through STEM projects and the technology and those things that you would think of as a workshop with STEM, but it's also being integrated with sessions. And again, right now it's all being presented as online with these leadership coaches that will help these girls get just not only create their skills, enhance their skills, so they are ready for 9th grade and ultimately pursue a STEM career through college. So we've had to pivot. I mean, this is a great area where we've had to pivot. Last year, if you look at 2019, we did 10, and of course it's in person, right? 10 Great Minds programs. It ranges from working with our partners, such as this was 2 years ago with Southwest, but it was wildly successful, where 300 girls from DISD came out to Southwest, and they had a chance to meet a woman pilot and a woman engineer, tour the call center. They actually even got a chance to tour up on a plane, all the technology above and below the wheels, as they say. And ATW provided the logistics, the food, worked with Southwest. It was Southwest leadership that participated, but we helped put the whole program on, as well as all the kind of the back office logistics that you have to abide by. So another program again was build a mobile app with AT&T. This was a limited seating on this program due to the facility. 75 girls came, and they had to have both a mobile app and an iPad. So ATW had those accessible for girls that may not have one, and they, on a Saturday morning, they learned how to build a mobile app. So very, very relevant, as Aries says, and it's all to give these girls the benefit of seeing that, hey, you know, having a STEM career is pretty cool. It's not all about coding. There's a whole lot of other things you can do with it, and to keep them motivated to pursue something in STEM.
And just to add to that, is really about them seeing other women that are in these careers. Representation matters a lot, right? So when you see someone, you're like, hey, I can be that, you know, one day.
Yeah.
I definitely, I don't know if that was Anamika who was saying that, about like, if I would have been exposed, you know, I was a 10-year-old girl when the computer and the internet had just started kind of becoming a thing. So I was like super into it, but I didn't know anybody. I didn't know anybody that was a woman that were pursuing these type of careers. So I just had this skill that kind of ended up not growing into what it probably could have been. It probably would have looked a lot different if I had someone that was there that said, hey, you can do this, you know. So we want to be that for other girls as well.
100%
Thank
agree
you
with
so
this.
much. Yeah, go on, Anamika. I think this
No,
is our
I'm just
last
saying
slide.
100% agree with both of them, what they said about great minds. We do need to bring, you know, our girls, you know, if we could expose them early and give them the right, you know, path to follow from the start itself. And you'll see that they're going to talk to their colleagues who potentially have never been exposed to something like this. And from there, it just goes on. So we are building a community.
Right.
Exactly.
So that brings us to the last question. What are the next steps? I know, you know, from the FNC side, Michelle has been really crucial and critical in helping us out as well. And you know, she's been having issues. But Anamika, could you give us a few updates on what's next step, and you know, how do we, you know, go ahead and get people excited and start, you know, getting them signed up for this session, you know, organization?
Sure, definitely. So I lead the Fujitsu ATW partnership via WIN. So you absolutely can reach out to me. You can reach out to Michelle, who is the lead for the professional organization within WIN. You can also reach out to Lolita directly as well. She is a member of ATW, DFW ATW, current member. So we have, as I said, we have hit the partnership for FY20 with DFW ATW. So we'll be selecting 5 members who's as part of our package with DFW ATW sponsorship package. But then if we see more interest, we will pick another few members. But if you have any questions, or if you say, hey, I have an interest, and you have it right away, shoot me a note, and we'll make sure that you know, we kind of, you know, take that into consideration. Again, as I said, even if you're a non-member, it doesn't matter, because you could still participate in a different way. But you know, just shoot me a question, and we'll be able to help you there with that. And this is open to everybody. There's no FAI, there's no FNC. It's Fujitsu. So it's a Fujitsu DFW ATW partnership via WIN, our organization, Women's Innovative Network. So anybody and everybody could participate, and if they have an interest, if they have a commitment, and if you really want to kind of open up and join wider network of women and men.
Yeah, and you don't have to be in Dallas, so you can be virtual and still be able to avail all this wonderful opportunities.
Via mail session, we opened it to the broader audience. In fact, we went outside the US.
Exactly. That's one good thing that came out of this, right? We opened it up and been able to expand. So
Awesome. Great. We have no further questions. unless any last points you have, Michelle, Marilyn, and Aries.
Thank you
No,
very much.
none from me.
Yeah, thanks on behalf of ATW, thanks for the time, and looking forward to meeting a lot more friends from Fujitsu.
Great.
I do want to take this quick few minutes to thank you, Marilyn, and thanks, Aries, for joining us today. Getting with us on the 60 minutes wider group session with everybody and sharing what DFW ATW stands for, sharing our relationship for the past 5 years we have been maintaining. So I really appreciate the time today. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Yeah,
everyone. And as a reminder, we will share the recording as well as the follow-up email with all the information and get your feedback whether you're interested or not. And then we will go for next step from there on. Thank you again for joining.
Right.
Thank you, Lalita.
Take care.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.